The lack of resistance within communication between two entities represents the true idea of what love is. You are truly captivating the world with your love.
Blog Talk Radio.
Enlightenment Evolution Network presents the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with your host, Rob Gauthier. Hey everybody, this is the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with your host, Rob Gauthier, and we have got an amazing night ahead and planned. First of all, let me introduce my wonderful, lovely, beautiful sunshine co-host this evening, Kalina Angell, who will be here helping us moderate and co-host this evening's wonderful, wonderful event. Welcome and thank you, Sunshine.
Hello, everybody. Also known as Kalina Angell.
Oh, Kalina Angell from?
From our house here in Michigan.
But also you could find her Friday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, the Earth Experience. Tomorrow night, Friday. Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Absolutely, and that's on the Enlightenment Evolution Network, which we all are a part on. Speaking of the Enlightenment Evolution Network, tonight is going to be a monumental, historic event. For the first time in Enlightenment Evolution Network history, we will have all three of the channelers from Network 1, not all three, but three of the ones who are here from this evening. We have Daniel Scranton, we have Roxanne Swainhart, we have myself. All three of us are here tonight to channel an amazing three-way channeling, simultaneously channeling, where we're taking everyone's call. Every single person will be available to come on and to ask their questions to either channeled entities. And we have both Roxanne Swainhart and Daniel here with us tonight, and we'll be bringing them on in just a couple of minutes. But before we do, there's a couple things we wanted to talk about first, and one of those things is that this Saturday on the 13th, myself and also fellow Enlightenment Evolution Network host, Daniel Scranton, as well as Kalina Angell, who will be facilitating and moderating, will be at this Saturday's Channel Panel online event. What this is a panel full of amazing channelers who will be doing online communication with all of you. What else can we tell them about the channel panel?
Oh, well, we're going to be having also, you mentioned Nora Harold, who, as you guys know, she channels Fairy Kalyandra. She channels the Pleaidian. She channels Yeshua, and she's recently been channeling mer beings. So that's been a very exciting thing. We also have Brad Johnson, who is going to be there to channel Adronis in the Conscious Matrix. And who else? We have John Callie, who, as you guys know, channeled Chief Joseph for many years. He was actually featured on Tuning In as well, the first installment and the second one to come. And he now channels Spirit. So these are some other amazing channelers that are going to be on the channel panel.
Absolutely. And there's going to be a few other things, too, that we're going to talk about the channel panel. We will be talking about that throughout the night, because tonight is a celebration of channeled material in all ways, all shapes, and all forms. Channeled material is a wonderful, wonderful thing where basically you are connecting to the highest portions of your own self that connect and bring solid information and resonance with you. And basically a lot of people think it's reaching outside of you, grabbing information, but what it truly is reaching inside of yourself enough to make those connections outside of you that are very helpful and useful in your own energy. Now, the channel panel we've been talking about for a couple of months now, and it's finally coming to fruition on the 13th, which is this Saturday, just a few days away, and we're very excited. We'll be talking about it randomly throughout the evening. The other thing I want to announce is tonight is going to be the night where we are picking one more winner for a free ticket for the channel panel. This is a $45 value. That's the price and admission of the ticket for a 6-hour event. And also, during that entire interactive event, you can interact with channelers, but there's also going to be gifts that are above the cost of the ticket. All of these gifts that each one of the presenters will give is worth more than $45. So $45 to do that and get those gifts is great. And if you win tonight, you will have that ticket for free. And basically, the way that you can win is on my Facebook wall, Rob Gauthier, down quite a ways now. It's probably down about a week's worth. There is a picture of the channel panel that Kalina did, great graphics. It's a postcard for the event, and it was said above the picture, if you share this on your wall from this point until the channel panel, that you will have a chance to win, and we're drawing the winner tonight at the end of the night for this event. All right. Yep. All right. Are you still there, Kalina, or did you get disconnected there?
Oh, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I was fixing my. I was just working on the sound quality. Is that better now?
Yes, it's quite a bit better. Thank you.
Awesome.
Now, tonight's event is going to be similar to the channel panel, but it's going to be a little different. What we're doing tonight is instead of one channeler presenting 1 hour's worth of information like we will in the channel panel, tonight we are going to have all three channelers simultaneously channeling. Now, this has not happened in the metaphysical community and the channeling community up until Brad Johnson, who is also going to be a part of the channel panel, the Conscious Matrix channeler from ConsciousMatrix.com, invented the very first simultaneous channeling, which involved myself and him. After that, myself, him, and Wendy Kennedy with the Ninth Pleaidian Collective all did a event where all three of us simultaneous channeling. So tonight we're going to live through that great monumental production of a brilliant idea bringing all these entities together that Brad Johnson innovatively created, innovatively came up with that brilliant idea, and we're going to carry that through tonight. What else can we tell you guys about what's going on tonight? Can you think of anything that I've left out?
Yes, I think that we should definitely let them know before we begin channeling later on who all they're channeling, who they feel might be coming on tonight as a possibility. So, because some people may be new to who you channel, and some people may be new to Daniel and Roxy. So, I think we should definitely connect in with them later on and let you guys know what it is, who it is that they channel, and see what resonates with you the most when you're asking certain questions. See who it is, have a feel for who it is, because you might have someone in mind or an entity in mind and be completely pulled to another.
Absolutely. That's a brilliant idea, and I think we will bring our presenters on here in 1 minute. That represents the rules, regulations, kind of the plan for tonight, if you will. What we are going to be doing is taking callers Now, if you're just tuning in, this is the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with your host, Rob Gauthier, co-host Kalina Angell from the Earth Experience Friday evenings. We are going to be doing simultaneous three-way channeling with Daniel Scranton, Roxanne Swainhart, and myself, and Kalina will be moderating. And what the plan for this is when you call, you'll be allowed one question. After you give that question, you can give it to one of the channeled entities who will be there this evening, and we'll all announce who that will be before we get started. Or you can ask all three of them to talk shortly about the one idea. So it'll be up to you how to do that. Kalina will be moderating and facilitating that, and we can put you. I doubt that we'll get to callers twice tonight, but if so, we can put you back in the list of callers. So if you have more than one question, get the important one up front, and the ones that mean less to you go towards the back, and you'll have an opportunity for all of the channeled entities to do this. Now, I think I see what's going on here. What we're going to do real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring on the other two people who will be channeling here this evening. First of all will be Roxanne Swainhart, the channeler of Ocyphius, Oversoul Fire, Asasani Collective, along with tons of more brilliant entities. The energy that comes through her is amazing. Is this you, Roxy? You there with us?
Well, it sounded like a beep, so can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
How are you doing, sweetie?
Baby, I am rocking. I am ready for tonight. This is going to be an awesome, awesome show. Great idea putting it together to bring this to the collective and offering some, let's say, some real high energy. And what are you going to get? You're going to get a, knock your socks off event. Let's rock it,
Absolutely. Can you do us a favor and tell all the listeners a little bit about, first of all, who you channel, second of all, how you're related to us in the network, and then third of all, a little bit about your connection and how that connection came to be?
Who I channel is interesting because Ocyphius is the main guy, and he's kind of like and I say he because he vibrates in male entity, that kind of idea. And he is the facilitator, and he speaks a lot, but then we also have guest channelers of other of the higher selves that are hanging out with me, from Iona, Pleaidian, Lumerian, Akume, Archangels, the whole gang. And then there's outside entities like, let's see, Ra came through a couple times, Mother Mary came through a couple times, and Seth has been coming through the last week or so, and I've got a couple of those channels. Yes, the Seth, and it's awesome. So that was the first part. What was the second part?
The second part's how you're related to the network, why you're here, and what you do every Saturday morning.
Every Saturday. I got my own radio show, thanks to you in creation of this Enlightenment Evolution Network. I have a radio show is Saturday. It's called Odyssey of Ascension, and that's the name of my whole idea, Odyssey of Ascension, Epic Voyage of Humankind's Ascension, booyah. So it's Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on the East Coast and 8 a.m. on the West Coast. And I just get on and fly by the seat of my pants, and we do this and we do that and talk, maybe take some calls or channel. It's whatever it is in the moment, and there you go.
Beautiful. So and the third part is, who are you going to be bringing through for us tonight, and in that, how you first connected, just a little short story about how you connected to your channels and kind of the process you went through.
Sure. The first the person that's going to come through is Ocyphius for sure, but he's telling me right now, shout out to whoever calls in. It's you want to channel maybe your higher self, I can channel them. There's a possibility of that. There's also, if you have a request, we can put out the shout out to the vibration to call that person in or entity in that you may know, and we'll see how that goes. And so far it's Ocyphius, but Seth is hanging around. I really understand what Jane Roberts felt like when Seth is around. He's like this very big weight. He's like, hi. He doesn't talk like that. He talks different, but you know what I'm saying. And let's see, how it started. I got this whole meditation, higher self. I was introduced to what I call the Council of 11, my Council of 11, 11 of myself, introduced them, start speaking a galactic language and then translating it and then automatic writing, and then I had this entity come in one day with a completely different voice in my head and goes, hi. And I said, hi. He goes, I'm Hugh. You want a channel? And I said, yep. Awesome. And then he taught me to channel and did this whole process about being what they call a conscience channeler and giving me a delay so I can understand, to trust the words that are coming through, and it's just accelerated into where I'm at now.
Well, absolutely. That is perfect, and that is beautiful. And thank you for introducing that real quick. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring in Daniel, do the same introduction, then all of us will join back in, and we'll have a little chat about what we're going to be doing tonight. So hold on for 1 second, Roxy. We'll be right back with you, sweetheart.
Sure.
All right. Now, Daniel Scranton, channeler most known or first connected to publicly in a big way the creators. Why don't you do the same 3 steps? Tell us a little bit about who you'll be channeling tonight. Tell us a little bit about your connection to the network, and then tell us a little bit about your story, how you got here. And first of all, welcome to the show, Daniel.
Hello, Robert. And hello, Kalina. And Robert.
Hello.
Hi. It's so beautiful to be here and connect with all of you and to share in this awesome event that I'm so honored to be a part of, and honored to be a part of the channel panel. I feel like everything is moving so fast right now. So I got started with the creators right around 4 years ago when, my energy work was starting to result in me. This is me doing energy work on other people. My arms started to move by themselves, like one at a time, like windshield wipers, and then my head started moving and my mouth started moving, and then when my mouth started moving, I said, that's kind of like channeling. I wonder if I'm going to start channeling. And then I would go into these deep meditations, and I feel like I was going to throw up, like not just feel like I was going to throw up, not nauseous, but dry heaving, like the actual movement of throwing up happening, those types of muscle contractions in the body. And I also had a really cool experience in the middle of the night where I felt like I was being scanned with orgasmic energy from head to toe. So that was pretty cool. And so I eventually just got to the point where I got to see Abraham Hicks one time and got in the hot seat, as they call it, and asked him, what's going on with me? Am I going to channel, or what is this? And they said, yeah, you just have to work through that resistance. That's what the dry heaves are about, and you're on your way. And that was it. And from that point on, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I would just sit and like energy would move me and make noises through me and everything until eventually I would start speaking. So that's how I made my first connection with the creators, who I'm going to bring through the creators tonight because they are the easiest for everyone to hear. Like, I want to make sure everyone can hear. When it comes to Michael, it's, I haven't really been projecting my voice as loudly, I think, as might be necessary for everyone to be able to hear tonight. So I just want to bring through the powerful creators that they are. They're a 12th dimensional collective of teachers and, very much like a group that just wants to help, just a group of teachers who are here to assist and wants everyone to enjoy the shift. So that's who I bring through, and I do my own show here on the Enlightenment Evolution Network on Monday nights, and my time of my show is 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, and it's called Heart to Heart Talk Radio. I usually have guests on, or I channel myself, and my lovely partner, Lana, helps me when I channel myself, running the switchboard, and usually wants to do a show on a particular topic, which I think is a cool idea. So
I think that's a brilliant idea.
I want to put it out there, though, that anyone who's listening and who wants to sign up for the channel panel, they can go to Rob's website, trebchanneling.com, under the events tab, right, Rob?
Yep. You go to the events tab on Treb Channeling. It's TREB, CHANNN as in Nancy, LING. You go to the events tab, and the very, very first under tab under events is upcoming online events. You click on there, and the channel panel is right there in your face. You go down to where it says register here in big red letters, and that'll take you to Instant Presenter. Now, that's a bit difficult for some people. They're like, well, why am I taken to this other website? This is a separate little part that's its own website, it's its own software, and that's where all the presenters will be through. So you have to go in there, you have to make the PayPal payment, you have to register your account with your email and the password and your name, and then from there you'll be able to sign in. You'll get a mail the day before, and during the time you click on that link where the event's going to be at, and you sign in with your registered name and password. So it's a little difficult to sign in, but it only takes 2-3 minutes tops, and if you have PayPal, it's super easy. If not, then it's just as easy as using your credit card or checks for anything else. So definitely can go there and check that part out. I'm also going to bring Roxy in real quick, back to the group conversation, bring her back in. And there is, okay, well, basically, what I want to talk to all of us about now, this channeling part is been big. First of all, Roxy, what to you is the most important thing that you could tell listeners about who are not as familiar with channeling or who have only been dealing with channeling? What is beneficial about channeling? What's important about channeling?
My biggest idea is that we are getting the psychic awareness beyond ourselves as a probability to experience through this phenomenon, if you will, called channeling. Because it's taken ourselves. I mean, we can go back to Edgar Cayce and that idea and the psychic and stuff like that, and that's the birthing pains of it. And then we, through our own expression, have found, and you and Dan and all the channelers, and a lot more channelers are coming up. I mean, they may not be the idea of the monumental channel as Abraham Hicks or, Jay-Z Knight or Nora in that huge field, or where you're going as well, Rob, to the big boys, but they're channeling, and they're channeling the messages of, let's say, as Dan said a minute ago, the ones that want to help, the ones that are really interested in humanity's ascension, and I think this venue we've given ourselves to expand our own self is epic. That's my own, that's what I love about it, because I'm getting information, I was like, what? Where did that come from? Oh yeah, and now it's just awesome. This information that's coming through. It's like, God, and it's so good. It becomes, and I always equate it to this. It's wisdom, and when I know it's wisdom because it's something. It's like this. I put it like this, or actually Simon Hall from Australia, one of my friends I work with. He said this: wisdom is remembering what you already know. And as soon as you know that, you click it and you're like, oh, and they're just giving us that wisdom of our own selves and remembering, not learning, remembering, and I love it. So there you go.
Beautifully put, and I think that's very important for people to understand, too, is that everyone can channel. Everyone has access to their own higher selves and fractalized consciousness. Now, for you, Daniel, what has been the biggest and most life-changing perspective since you started channeling, and what do you notice about other people when they connect to, like, getting sessions from you and things that channeling's changed in their life?
Well, for me, the biggest piece of channeling is the transmission of energy. It's the frequency that the channeler is holding that is then transmitted to all who are going to receive the words of the channel. So if you're working with one person or a group, or you're putting something out there on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're putting it, the message is getting infused with that high frequency energy, and everyone who comes in contact with it is receiving that energy and feeling it in their bones. They're receiving upgrades, they're getting rewired, they're noticing that the way that they feel is way more important than the words that are on the page or the words that are being spoken. And, you know, that's why I got so addicted. Before I started channeling, I was like the guy who was at every channeling event, you know, whether it was Abraham or Bashar, and then Nora and Wendy. I was the guy who was there like every time and would even get on a plane or a boat to go channel and be in that energy, because that's what it's all about. And when I realized that this isn't really about me getting up there and talking and asking questions, or it's not really about what they say, it's about how I can feel as I sit in this energy. And when I realized that, that's when I started to channel. That's the other piece. It's like I was sitting there at an Abraham workshop and started to dry heave. You know, I was like, and now I go to a Nora event or some other event, you know, where someone else is channeling, and I sit in the back row because I have to. Otherwise, everyone's going to see me, you know, swirling around in a figure 8 with my head and my arms flying up in the air, because I can just feel the energy, and that's, to me, that's the real piece that is so attractive and so enticing about channeling.
Well, absolutely, and I hate to put you on the hot seat here, Kalina. I know you didn't expect this question to be asked, but you yourself are starting to open yourself up in a big way. A lot of energy comes in. You're beginning to get your own types of channeling where you're receiving higher self-information, where you're being able to finally listen to these entities who are being channeled without them speaking through another human. You're beginning to pick that energy up. You're beginning to play with it. What's important for people who are going through that transitional stage right now to remember, so that they don't get overwhelmed, they don't get, you know, energetically tangled up?
Well, I think it's really important to allow the process. I know for me, many people who have been listening to my shows, as you know, I've been going through a lot of the physical transitions, which can be a bit of a pain in the butt and a jolt to the DNA. But I have been working on, you know, when I was a child, I channeled a lot, although I wasn't familiar with the term channeling. I was able to communicate with trees and spirits and the collective consciousness of what people would consider to be Krishna. So I was able to talk, and then I went through a period in my life where I just pretty much, not completely, but closed down a lot. And so I'm for me, and there may be a lot of people out there listening to this who are actually kind of reawakening, who kind of stunted the process because they went through that perceived trauma when people are saying you're crazy or loony, this is not happening to you, and you start to try to, you know, follow the logic mind rather than the heart. So it's opening up, accepting myself. For me, I've noticed I've gotten incredibly more creative than I ever have, and I find myself wanting to write and do more art, and have been dabbling a lot in that, and that those things are the things that lead me to having insights and all. So even Treb and Aridif, I've been able to connect to them, even though they're not just for Rob, which, by the way, Rob, I'm going to put you in the hot seat in a little bit. Trying to talk about myself. But so I guess you could say I'm kind of the reflection to those that are listening that, you know, I'm going I personally think that channeling is something that is going to be very commonplace, because there are so many entities, aspects, parts of our oversoul, parts of our higher selves, that for as badly as we perceive ourselves to want to connect with them, we can't even fathom how much more they want to be with us, how they see us as these precious parts and aspects of all that is God, and without us, the whole couldn't be, So they're very excited to see us be able to perceive them, because a lot of beings have been waiting, and it's not limited to a lucky few. We all have that ability to open up if we want to, and also when it comes to channeling, it's not something you have to do publicly. This is something that you can do for yourself, privately, in the comfort of your own home. Anywhere you go, you could be shopping, in the grocery store, picking up tomatoes, doesn't matter, we have that connection, and that's what's beautiful, and it's just been very magical. I feel like all the magic that I felt in my childhood has returned, and then some. It's just been a very beautiful experience. So just hang in there for those of you that are experiencing the physical things. I feel you on that. I am getting better and better, just allowing that and letting go of the fear and letting go of the trauma and those things that we felt were a part of us. It's just personality, the personality that we adopted, the belief systems that we adopted. So, Rob, I'm going to turn it around on you.
I figured you would.
We had a little introduction with Roxy and Daniel, but you never know. This could be the first show that some people are tuning in to hear you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your channeling, who you channel, and a little bit of your story, and of course the network.
Absolutely, and thank you, sweetheart, for reminding me to think of myself too. Sometimes I get so excited about everything, I skip over that sometimes, which is something that I'm learning too. But my name is Rob Gauthier. I am the official channel of Treb Bor Yit NE and Aridif, the ancient Pleaidian. Aridif is somebody who I dealt with back in the first writing of the book with Treb, and the very first time I connected with Treb for the written material, I connected with a fellow named Jefferson Biscardi, who is a great guy who's dealt with a lot of channelers and talked to a lot of people. But basically what he did is connected to me on the channeling that I was doing and wanted to write a book. And the book was called Benevolent Hybrid Reptilian Humans. And that is a book that's everything Treb. It's a donate what you wish or download for free, however you look at it on the website if you're interested in looking more into Treb. But Treb is that reptilian human hybrid. He is a very loving entity, fifth dimensional. He comes to us from a place centered in unconditional love is something that he's already graduated from. Fifth density, he's moving into that wisdom. So he's very, very intricate, very smart, very loving. And the Aridif Pleaidian entity, he is also, he's in a sixth density, so he's mastered love and wisdom, and now he's doing universal consciousness. So he's connecting in a much bigger way than even Treb, which is hard to believe, but that's amazing. So my story is a little different and a little of the same than everyone else's who channeled. I started in a really rough spot, bad disconnection. I found myself, and through finding myself, I found Treb. I worked hard for years on meditation, of connecting to my heart, and that's when I found Treb. Treb and Aridif speak more for themselves than ever I could. Words are kind of a lesser form of communication. It's the energy that you feel when you listen, not just to Treb or Aridif, but to Ocyphius, the creators, ninth dimensional Pleaidian collectives, Bashar, Cryon, Adamus, all of those loving, huge, wonderful entities that all of us are connecting to and sharing that. And I think it's very beautiful, too, Kalina, that you shared that whole part about not just channeling publicly, not channeling to do you do that all the time, whether you know it or not. And even when you can channel in a verbal or trance or non-trance or conscious, whichever way you like to communicate, you can always do that in your own time and space. When you're doing artwork, when you're making music, when you're doing projects, a lot of time you're channeling that higher self anyway. So it's a beautiful amalgamation of connection. Now, a little bit about this show. This is the Enlightenment Evolution Hour. the network is the Enlightenment Evolution Network. So this would go to say that through the show that I started is what helped start this wonderful network, with a ton of other people and a ton of other great communications. The host, all three of the hosts that we have here along with me tonight, were there from fairly close to the beginning of this network. So we built this network together. Even though I always say, well, I'm the founder, starter, la la, it's done through co-creation. And I've been doing channeling publicly now for about 5 years, been sharing a lot of information from the start, doing a lot of this stuff because I am interested in how the information that Treb shared with me changed my life from black to white, from red to orange, whatever you want, or from red to green, sorry, orange is a little close, from red to green, all of these different things that happened because of his information. I felt that it was valuable enough to bring to humanity and let them judge that for themselves. And there are tons of people who have found channeled information, whether it's through a voluntary thing, whether someone else forced it down their throat, or whether they just bumped into it accidentally. All three ways of those are valid ways that people have looked into channeling and changed their lives. And that's what we're all here to do right now, not to change your lives, but to give you the information so if you want to change your life, you can do that. All of us are creators. Anything that you want to do, it's amazing. It's beautiful, and that's why we're here tonight, guys. I am so excited about this whole thing, and thank you guys for being here, and thank you, Kalina, too, for asking that question.
Oh, you're welcome. I also wanted to make a comment, and then one more clarification for the audience. The comment was that you actually were connecting with Treb for a couple of years before you went public. That you were going and astral projecting and visiting Treb and learning from him with that connection. And so I think that if you guys had co-created the thought that it would be really nice to share this information with others. But it was a very personal experience for you in the beginning. So that's what I'm talking about, that it can be something that you have just for you to look forward to throughout your life. There are many, many loving entities who are with you now, even if you can't see them. And the other thing I wanted to talk about with the other channelers, that there, of course, are all different forms of channeling. And I know for you, Rob, you mainly do trance channeling, although you've been working with conscious channeling. And I would like for you guys to discuss your types of channeling. One moment. Is the microphone off?
No, it's not off. It's just, go ahead.
I'm good.
Okay, sorry guys. There seems to be a technical difficulty. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but
we hear you fine.
Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, great. So what I wanted to talk about was the types of channeling. What kind of channeling you guys do, whether you're doing it in a trance state or whether you're doing it from a conscious state, and then for you guys to talk about what that means.
Who's up? I guess I am.
Oh, go ahead, Roxy.
Thank you, Doll. So yeah, I'm a conscious channeler, and I don't know what the trance is like because I guess I chose that idea, to be a conscious channeler. I didn't even know what it was. I started channeling, it's not been quite a year. It'll be a year in the end of October. And it was like, I was like, okay, I understand the concept, so I'm going to be awake, but I'm going to move my personality aside a little bit. And that's when Hugh said, well, we're going to kind of put you on a delay. And I was like, a delay? He goes, yes, whenever you are speaking consciously, you will be perceiving it in a different time frame than the people that you are actually speaking to, hearing it. About a 3-second delay. So you can start getting what they call the overall message and then trust it as it's coming through you. Because, I'm ascending. And am I really channeling an entity? Of course, I was doubting it because, this is all new for me. So they put me on this delay. And, through my experiences and seeing the validity of the messages and then building my trust upon that. And then I'm right here, right now, and I just it's like I'm, watching the show go by and listening in on it. And then sometimes, now the delay is gone in that fashion, but sometimes, if Seth has an idea, I go off and I start thinking about that, what I'm talking over here, I guess, multidimensional conscience awareness perspectives in that fashion. So that's how it works for me. I'm right here, right now. And when it's like Ocyphius starts, he goes, if he comes in first, Ocyphius, and then boom, if it shifts, I feel the next vibration, and that is Nimikoto from the Iona, and then I feel Akina come in, and then it's like they're dialing a phone, and then boom, I just know who they are, that kind of idea. So that's how it works for me, and sum it up a little bit. So good?
Sounds great.
Booyah. Daniel's up.
Well, I guess it's my turn. That was a big surprise for me when I started channeling, is that my assumption was, I'll just be like in a blackout state, or I'll be off somewhere else, and whoever's speaking through me will just speak through me, and then I'll wake up from my little nap, and that wasn't the case, and I was a little bit bummed about it, because I was like, oh man, now I have to be here and look at my, be aware of everything that's going on while it's going on, and that just seemed like it created more doubt within me because of that. And so, but over the years, what I've come to realize and appreciate about it is that if I wasn't conscious during my channeling, then I would miss out on a lot. And so now I'm starting to appreciate the fact that, after I have a session with a client, I don't have to go back and listen to the session with the client to hear what was said. I heard it all while it's happening, and that's kind of cool. And I've also, it's funny because if you see a video of me channeling on YouTube, and there are a few on there, the ones where I'm on camera are the most popular ones. They get thousands of views. And I certainly look like I'm in a trance, which is funny. And I sound like I'm in a trance, and and there's all the involuntary movement and all the stuff, the voices and everything, but my consciousness is there. And I've been told that I'm actually in a semi-conscious state when I channel, which makes a little bit more sense to me, because it's definitely an altered state for me, but to be aware of everything that's going on while it's going on is, in my opinion, it's been beneficial to me. It helps me integrate it. Sometimes I get visuals of things about what the question is or what the answer is, and that really helps too. And sometimes I'll tell people afterwards about the visual, and they'll be like, "Yeah, that's right on." So it's just all been kind of a journey and a journey of discovery, and I'm just very happy to be on it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And Rob, you're up. Tell us what's been going on with you from trance to conscious, and where you are during your trance channeling as well.
All right. Well, my start to this was a little different, and I don't know any channeler who experiences it quite like I do. And that's the funny thing about channelers. Every channeler I've ever asked, and that's the first question I always ask, is what is your process of channeling? How do you connect? What do you experience? Whenever I have one come on my own show, and the reason I ask is because mine is so different. I'm waiting for someone to have the same answers as me, and it never really happens that way. So basically, the first 2 years I knew Treb, I did all my communications with him through astral projection. Treb was the only entity I connected to. Although I met many different entities, I didn't learn from them. I learned from Treb. He connected me to a bunch of different entities that were around. So I was like astral projected, which is like remote viewing, some people think of it as, or some people think of it as out-of-body experience. Some people even compare it to a dream state, a lucid dream. And I'm connecting to him during this meditation for 2 years. When I learned how to channel, me and him worked together to learn how to channel, or to teach me how to channel, I would go into an astral projected state. And that is still to this day when I go into a trance channeling how I connect. But there was a big realization that I've had in this last year. I knew that I could conscious channel somehow. I just knew I could. And I just didn't step out to do it. I enjoy the way I channel so much, plus the information flows. I was always worried about, well, if I change tactics, will the channeling information come out different? Will it come out less? Will it come out different? You know, will people accept it? So I really reserved myself. But I had a guest, Nora Harold, on, and she and the Pleaidians were talking to me, and I asked her, what's this hold up me in the conscious channeling? And she talked to me about some past life stuff, and I realized that. And within, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks, I was able, I always feel Treb around me all the time, no matter what. For the last year and a half, I always felt him around me. But after that conversation with Nora, I felt him more intimately, and I started working on that connection. Now I'm at the point where I am able to consciously connect, consciously receive information, and it comes in one of 2 different ways. Like with Treb and Aridif, those are 2 different connections, so I receive information. Treb will send thought patterns, ideas, blocks of information, downloads, and I will assess those and kind of translate them in my own way. Not translate them, but kind of communicate those in my own way. But with Aridif, it's a little different. When he comes, he'll send an idea, and then when I start talking about it, he's very precise. If there's one word I get, then I receive guidance to change that way that I said it, or change the word, or change the thing. Actually, I just started connecting to my own book that I'm doing with Aridif, which is Profound, and I would write down a paragraph, and then he has me reread it, and he switches words around and stuff when I didn't get it quite right. So it's very, very different. I have still yet to come out and consciously channel all the time. I'm aware that I could do it, but there's still a building of that bridge that still needs to be done. There's still more energy that I have to connect to. I just want to assure that the information comes across in 100% proper way. And, you know, I've been channeling for 5 years now. In that 5 years, the first year and a half, my information was very jumbled. Although it was correct and somewhat good, it was still filtery. And that's what worried me when I first started consciously channeling. I just want to make sure that the information goes like it does when I trance channel. So I'm in the middle of that transition from trance to conscious channeling, and it's a process, and you work with it, and you do what feels comfortable with you. You do what feels comfortable with entity. No way to do channeling is wrong. Any way you can connect, and whatever you feel will make things better, it usually will.
Yeah. Thank
Absolutely.
you for that. Thank you for
thank
that
you for that brilliant
description.
Question.
So, see,
thank you for that wonderful. Oh.
There's so many ways for us to connect and allow, and I know this is exposing you a little bit, but you have conscious channeled Treb a couple of times around me. And I remember he had said that you had a belief that you were holding on to, that you needed to be closer to almost a dream state. And that's not true. Like, he would come through when you were very, very tired and talk to me. But the very first time, he was actually had his eyes open and standing and walking around. And he was hard to hear, kind of like how Daniel said Archangel Michael, who he's been channeling, is a little hard to hear. It was the same way, and the voice was different sounding because the energy was coming through in a bit of a different way. But I know Treb expresses his voice that you hear in an energy that fits who he is, that unconditional love, that sweetness, that excited energy. So there you go, everybody. That gives you a little bit of insight about the various ways to open up and allow, and you could be doing something that you're not aware of, a precursor or channeling itself. So I want to thank all of you guys for sharing the way that you channel and how it is that your process and your way of being open and allowing the entities that you connect to come through.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, too, for the great question. What we're going to do now, guys, for those of you who are just joining us, this is the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with your host, Rob Gauthier, special co-host Kalina Angell, and our two wonderful guests, Daniel Scranton and Roxanne Swainhart, two of the hosts of the Enlightenment Evolution Network, as well as two very talented and profound channelers. And tonight we are going to do a three-way simultaneous channeling. What we're going to do is we're going to take all of your calls at area code 347-308-8788. We are going to have you do one question at a time. You can direct your question to any one entity, or the better thing, in my own opinion, the best thing would be to ask all three of them to give a shorter interpretation of their perception on that. And I don't think we'll get to all the callers, but we are going to try very hard to make sure that everyone gets at least one question answered. So please feel free to call in right now. And at the end of this show, we are going to be drawing the name out of the hat with everyone who shared the picture of the channel panel poster for the event that's coming up this Saturday, the channel panel. And whoever picks that, gets the name picked, will win a free admission with worth of well over, I'd say probably $90 or more. It's a $45 ticket, but the worth of it's much more with all the gifts that are being given. So please, if you haven't shared that and you want to put your name in for tonight, you can go to my Facebook page. You can go to Rob Gauthier Channeler or Treb Channeling, channeled by Rob Gauthier page. Look for the picture that says share this picture to win a gift, or to put your name in the drawing for the gift, and you will be put in there. We're going to check those right before we draw tonight to make sure there's no one else who got added to our paper list that we have in the bucket. What I think we should do now, I think we're going to mute up everybody's mic, give you a chance to relax, give us a chance to kind of neutralize our energy. This will give you guys the opportunity also, for those of you who aren't aware of the channel panel and all the things that are involved with the channel panel. We're going to let you listen to a small clip of that while all of us go ahead and get our bearings. And when we're done with this channel panel presentation, which is a little more than 4 minutes, we will all come back here. We will start getting ready to channel. I know that you, Roxanne, are very quick in getting into your channel state. Myself and Daniel take a little extra time. So we'll do that one at a time. We'll let Daniel get ready, and then I'll get ready. And then we'll all three have our channeled entities ready to go, and we'll start taking questions, if that sounds good to all of you guys.
Awesome.
All right, so let's do that. We're going to mute up the mics, guys. This is the very talented, our very own Kalina Angell, expressing all of the great benefits and perks of the channel panel event, in which you can register for if you're interested at trebchanneling.com. And we will see you guys on the end of this break. Thanks, guys, for coming on, and we'll be back in a minute.
Hi everyone, this is Kalina Angell with Treb Channeling, and if you enjoy channeled information, I have a special message for you. We've created a wonderfully affordable way for you to connect with 5 of the world's most renowned channelers, regardless of where you live. Join me as I host the Channel Panel on September 13th, an exciting 6-hour live online event where you can connect, interact, and ask your burning questions to the channelers from the comfort of your own home. You can also chat with fellow attendees and send messages to the channelers themselves. Each channeler will begin with a talk and then open into the question-answer format. So, who all will be channeling, you ask? Well, here's the lineup. The amazing Nora Harold will be there, and as you may already know, she channels such entities as the 9th dimensional Pleaidians, the fairy Kalina, Merbeings, and Yeshua. Also, Reiki Master Daniel Scranton will be joining us, and he's also known to channel such entities as the Creators, Archangel Michael, the Hathors, and Ophelia the Fairy. If you're craving the more serious side, that is serious with an S, then you'll love Conscious Matrix channeler Brad Johnson, best known for channeling the wise Syrian Hadronis. And if you want a huge surge of love infused with 5th dimensional knowledge, the favorite, very sweet hybrid reptilian human Treb Bor Yit NE will be channeled through Rob Gauthier, who also channels the fast-growing in popularity ancient Pleaidian Aridif. And if it couldn't get any better, we have with us the extraordinary, well-sought-after, longtime channeler John Callie, formerly known to channel Chief Joseph, now broadening his channeling with spirit, a collective group of guides who are sure to satiate your heart with their love and wisdom. Ask any question you want, and no worries, if you can't attend the live event in its entirety or you can't attend it at all, you will have unlimited access to playback streaming, and you'll also receive the gifts all the channelers will give you at the end of the event. Again, this is a live, interactive online event. 5 world-renowned channelers all in one day, 6 hours, unlimited playback streaming after the event, and yes, you heard it right, parting gifts from all the channelers, all for $45 for the entire event. By the way, the gifts themselves that the channelers are giving well exceed the price of one ticket, so I think that's just fabulous within itself. Again, this event will take place on September 13th, 2014. For more details on tickets and times in your time zones that the event takes place, visit www.trebchanneling.com. We love you. Hello, hello. Do we have Rob back with us?
Yep, we have me back.
All right.
Yep, we got me back with you. There you go.
Shall we bring the other 2 wonderful channelers, Roxanne Swinehart and Daniel Scranton, back?
Absolutely. Let's bring them on back in.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we get started, do you guys mind giving your websites out super quick? That way later on everybody can look you up.
Sure thing.
I would love to do that.
Rock and roll, Danny.
Well, my website's pretty easy. It's just my name, Daniel Scranton. Daniel like the book in the Bible, and Scranton like the city in Pennsylvania.com. And I channel a message almost every day that I post on the homepage, and if you subscribe, you get those messages to your inbox every day. So I'm offering tons of different things on there and more to come, so please check it out.
Okay, and Roxanne Swinhart, otherwise known as Foxy Roxy, where do we find you?
Foxy Roxy. Two places you can find me: Odyssey of Ascension on YouTube, and that's where I post all my channelings. I channel twice a week in front of a group, and it's an open group. In case you're ever in San Antonio, just give me a ring-a-dingy on the telly-welly and come on over. And my website with my contact information it's not as cool as Daniel's, which I need to upgrade. It's Roxanne CD, so ROXANNE CD.wix.com/Odyssey. ODYSSEY. And also, if you go to Odyssey of Ascension on YouTube, on my banner on the channel page, when you click the channel, on my banner at the top, there's a link to my website. And also Odyssey of Ascension on WordPress. I have, like 14 blogs on there from different channeled writings. So there you go.
Nice. And Mr. Rob Gauthier, where do we find you?
Well, you can find me at a very easiest place, newly revamped website, which I'm very proud of. I did most of that work myself with tons of feedback from my Sunshine Queen, as well as a couple of friends who gave me some good insight. What I was doing wasn't always the correct way when I first started my black background with white lettering, but what I've got now is www.treb, T-R-E-B, and then the word channeling with 2 N's, so trebchanneling.com. You could type that in as 2 separate words in YouTube, and you will find all sorts of videos. That is definitely probably a couple 100 hours worth of free material you can go to on YouTube and listen to. Tons of information. Go to my website. Go to the YouTube. I've got tons of Facebook things too, Aridif, Treb, and then myself as a fan page, and also the actual book. So you can go ahead and go to trebchanneling.com, and that will give you all the other insights and sites that are available within. You might have to do a little digging and a little playing around, but trebchanneling.com, that's the home base there. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, now you know where to look after, and just so you guys know, this show will be archived after, so if you didn't catch any of that, you'll be able to play it almost instantly after the show. So we can even hit the download button and keep it forever.
Yeah, and absolutely. And also, I would imagine before it gets too late in this evening, maybe a couple hours after the show, you will be able to find this whole thing. If you're not a Blog Talk person, you can go to youtube.com and type in Enlightenment Evolution Network, 3-way channeling, and all of the information for all the channelers. Their websites will be there, as well as a YouTube video of tonight's event. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, you should have everything ready in the where you need to be. And the Enlightenment Evolution Network YouTube page also supports all of the hosts who like to put their shows on videos and upload them there. You can find tons of archive videos on there. Not as many as you can in the Blog Talk archive, but you can definitely find a bunch. So you can go there and check out all the videos for our network.
All right, and time's a-ticking, so I'm going to explain a little bit how this works. We're going to have a 3-way channel between Rob Gauthier, Daniel Scranton, and Roxanne Swinhart, channeling their various wonderful, benevolent, loving entities and versions of your higher self as well. If you are wanting to ask a question, please press 1 at any time on your phone. What that'll do is that'll raise your hand. You can call us at 347-308-8788 if you have Skype and
your phone. Down.
Hello.
All right. Yeah, we just had a little background noise.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry, you guys. I think that was me. I forgot that I wasn't muted.
It's okay.
It's all right.
we're gonna unmute all the entities in just a bit anyway, so it's all good. So just call 347-308-8788. Also, if you happen to have a Blog Talk account and you're on Skype, just hit the little Skype button and press 1, and you can also get through that way as well. And again, hit 1 at any time. We are going to take only one question per person because I'm seeing there are a lot of people here, and we're going to try to get to as many people as we can. And then I'm going to bring these guys back in at least, I'm going to try to shoot for at least 15 minutes early because we have a drawing. There will be a lucky winner for the channel panel. So please, if you want to go ahead and share the Gray and White Channel panel poster on Facebook, we will have a random drawing right after the channeling, and you'll have a chance to win a free ticket for the channel panel. All right, guys. Well, are you guys feeling all neutralized and about ready to bring in your entities?
Yeah, I think Daniel should probably go first on his connection because me and him both do toning, and I know it might take a couple minutes, but or what I could do is I'll mute myself while I'm doing my oming and toning, and Daniel can keep his mic open so I know that Treb can unmute the headphone piece. So go ahead, Daniel, start getting ready, and I'm going to start getting ready on my end, and we'll all meet on the other side. And thank you, Kalina.
Well, I'm wondering, to put you guys on the spot, I think it would be kind of cool to hear you both toning if it doesn't interfere.
It doesn't bother me.
What do you think, sweetie?
All right. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, too.
Awesome. I think that'll sound
I can tell you guys it's going to be 3 very long tones for me, and then you'll hear them come in and say, "We are here for you." And that's when you know it's done. That's when you know I'm done.
Yeah, and when Treb goes hello, that's when I'm done, and Roxy's already done. She's already on it. I can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to start, and we'll see you guys on the other side. And thanks again for all who are listening, participating. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you, Kalina, for being the moderator for this and the wonderful co-host. Love you guys, and we'll see you on the other side.
My pleasure. Love you guys.
Yeah. 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 Wow.
Good evening, Kalina. I believe that the host and I and Aridif are ready.
All right. Good evening, Treb Bor Yit NE and Aridif. And as you guys may know, we have some other wonderful entities with us. Who do we have with us right now, along with Treb Bor Yit NE and Aridif?
I shall go first. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. And greetings to the collective of the Internet, Radio, Idea Collective, our eternal thanks once again for vibrating into this reality and allowing this co-creation. So let's get on with it. Booyah.
And I believe we have the creator.
We are the creators, yes.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being with us this evening. And
yes.
The first thing I want to do is have everyone give a brief message based on the current energies right now, based on the listeners. Would you be willing to give a short message each that would be very good for all of us, growth-wise, to hear? And I'll begin with Treb and or Aridif.
Yes. Let us express first that both of us, Treb and Aridif, that you would call us, are both here to connect you. But let us express that it is I who would give the first introduction. Let us express that all of us are together, connected now, and I wish to express my great love and gratitude, not only to those who are listening, but to those who are connecting to their own higher versions, that are connecting to the parts of themselves that excite them the greatest. And with this expression being expressed, the idea and message that we wish to share in this evening will be that of a very simple message. What we wish to express is that all of you are going through monumental changes within yourself and externally to you, but there's often a mistake that is made within perception that all of these things are truly happening outside of you. But what we wish to express is the changes that tend to be around you in the times of these monumental changes, as we have expressed, are not coming from those who co-create with you, but are coming from within you. So when you begin to see your elevated point of view in your own self, as you would perceive this to be, or your lowered perception, if you will, then all of these ideas of expression and perceptions only mean that the energy that is within you is translating a new idea, a new concept, a new perception, so that you may either rise to your occasion and grow within your own self, or so that you may go through an experience of separation or frustration that you need. And when you are doing this, you may choose either path that fits you the greatest, the most great co-creation that you are able to have with those that are outside of you, that you are co-creating with. When you are able to experience all of these changes, let us assure you that your own consciousness, that your own perception, and your own expression of what consciousness is in this reality is the hand at work behind the scenes. And with this, let us assure you that all of your power lies within, and creating this can be very exciting. And this is what we wish to share with you.
Oh, thank you, Treb.
Yes.
All right. Who wants to step up next?
Whomever. I shall go then. The idea I would like to express about this co-created moment that you have all selected, chose in that fashion through all of your probable selves and probable, let's say, nows of choice is exactly 100% mirrored of that of Treb. You have a choice here to expand or to, let's say, be frustrated. But in frustration, entities of ascension, most certainly that is rejoice in time. Why? Because you have the choice to expose to yourself by that frustration what is limiting you. Awesome. Continue.
Awesome. And how about you, creators? What is your message for us this evening?
We are enjoying very much this co-creation. And so, we want all of you to recognize how much power there is in co-creation. So, we are adding now to what has already been stated, where you can recognize that you are doing it all within you, that everything is originating from within you, and that all you need in order to shift your consciousness is to go within and explore all the wonder that you are. And we are adding to that idea with this message that tonight represents a co-creative, powerful endeavor. And that all of you, as you expand your idea of who and what you are, to include the collective, to include those in your community, you find that the feeling that you get when you come together as a group with similar intentions is exponential, is off the charts. And what can be accomplished through working together in harmony and in finding that group intention that is at the core of every single one of you to expand and to love and to live harmoniously with each other and with this planet is what will be even more powerful as you move within and then you expand out and include others in everything that you are seeking to experience here as a singular identity within a larger collective of being.
Thank you, all of you. I know I give my great gratitude and love for all of you being here tonight. And without further ado, I think we should start taking our callers. So the person who's been on the longest waiting is, I believe, on Skype and goes by Yarn59. Yarn59, do you have a question for our beloved entities tonight?
Hi.
Hi. Who do we have with us?
Roxy Yates.
Yeah, this is Roxy.
Hi, Roxy. It's Ocyphius. Greetings once again. Go ahead.
I don't have really a question. Just, if there's a message from someone higher up or from a family member, or if I'm going in the right direction with things.
I'll jump on board with that. Roxy, what are you seeking? You didn't call for any particular reason, just to know something. There's something that's pinging, so to speak. What is it about the family member, let's say, that you want to know? It's in you. Trust me.
Oh, I just want to know if they have a message for me.
Oh, yes. Get on with your ascension. How about that? How about, let's say, stop worrying about what is in the past and what is in the future? How about now? The idea, that continuation that we have discussed before of the paradigm you are, let's say, constructing about you, in that concern for your outside selves, which are truly, let's say, your family members in that fashion, incarnating as other selves in the idea of the oversoul self, and they're all reflecting back to you what you are. Now, in that, let's say, general idea, in expansion of self, the main holdback is your concern for fitting in with them and not offending once again. And also, let's say, the history of your adopted idea is playing a part in there. In other words, you're taking on burdens of those others instead of focusing upon yourself. Remember, entities of ascension, and this goes for everyone out there, you cannot be selfish in your own universe. That is my message from this now. Adone.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
And our next caller is area code 805. 805. Who do we have with us this evening?
Hi. So this is my first time on. Thank you.
Welcome.
Do I have to select someone?
You can address all three entities or anyone that you're pulled to.
Sure. Well, I would like to ask the creators. I'm about to pack to go to Denmark, and it's so hard for me to pack. I feel afraid that I'm going to bring too little or that I'm going to bring too much, and thereby, basically, it's just so hard for me to pack. So just some guidance to make it easier. Thank you.
We will remind you that the most important piece that you are bringing on your trip is yourself. Nothing else that you bring is as important or as significant as that which you are. That is, all that you bring from yourself will far outweigh that which you can fit in the suitcase. So, relax. Do not put so much pressure on yourself to get it right, to bring the right things, to make sure that you do it right so that you can enjoy your trip and instead refocus yourself on your intention toward the trip itself. What is it that you want to bring energetically? What is it that you want to feel? What is it that you want to experience? And let those answers to those questions, the most significant piece of what it is you are bringing with you on your trip. So that's then the packing experience be an extension of that energy so that everything that you bring is representative of that energy, and anything that you do not bring is because it does not fit with the energy of what it is that you are bringing from yourself, what it is you are wanting to experience, and what it is you are wanting to feel while on your journey. So every time you find yourself getting stuck, getting anxious, just take a few deep breaths, relax, and remind yourself that you are the most important item that you could bring on your journey.
Thank you very much. Thank you, caller, for your question, and have a lot of fun. All right, next question will be from 703. Who do we have with us this evening?
Hello.
Hi. Who do we have with us
hi.
This evening?
Yes. This is. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'm curious about difference in perception in a child versus an adult. For example, I'm curious why a child is not understanding, a young child is not understanding the constraints over time. For example, the child does not understand what is tomorrow or yesterday, and I'm wondering whether it's the dissension that is still happening over soul integrating with the body, with a new body, or something else. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And did you want all of them to answer your question? Or?
If possible, yes, please.
All right. I give you all the floor.
Yes. Let us express within this one idea that the entities that you would perceive to be a child is truly not a younger or smaller consciousness. What this entity is an entity who has not matured physically, but is more matured in the essence of their own consciousness. When a child looks at the day, they do not perceive what is later, what is tomorrow, what is yesterday, because all of these ideas are constructs of larger energies that are grown through perceptions of the collective consciousness. A child is born with close contact to what their higher self is, a closer essence to what the truly energy that they perceive is, and what they are doing as they are growing is learning more from the collective to separate themselves from this. What you can do is look at a child within its own perception. What you can do is look at the behavior and mindset of a child. And if you are using them to place an example for your own self of how to live in the moment and how to live in your excitement, there is much that you can learn from a child. All that you must realize within this idea of what is difference between a child and an adult in your own perception, what the difference is that they are truly more connected to their higher self, that they are connected to the soul fractal. And this is our perception on differences in children and adults.
Creators.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to add to that?
Stand by.
Yeah. We will put our 2 cents in. We would like for you to understand that the child is helping you to remove yourself from the idea of linear time. So when the child is unable to grasp the concept of time, the concept of tomorrow and yesterday, they are actually showing you how to exist in a timeless, in a non-linear framework so that you may begin to experience yourself as timeless and as having access to more than one moment in time, rather than finding yourself moving across a timeline that has a before and after idea. So we would suggest that you tune yourself to a child's energy in relation to this idea of time that they are bringing forth, so that you may train yourself to experience time in a new and exciting way.
Excellent. This is Ocyphius. I will bring in Seth. The idea that you have just perceived is that one of your higher self giving you the practicum of expansion of self. Now, in that, both Treb, in that fashion, we know him as another, and of course the Creator, have started the practicum for you to understand yourself. The tool of the child truly is that of a co-creation moment. Once again, never discount any of your moments. In that idea, you are seeing what you already are. You're remembering you are now all the time. But in your fashionable perception of time, you are straddling on time. You are not truly like the child in the moment. And within the moment, in your viewership of the child, from your perspective, you see the disconnection. And that disconnection only leads yourself to ask, what is going on with my reality, and why don't I, and why can't I? And of course, you are only expanding your own framework of your acceptable reality. Now, a practicum would be a good idea, in other words, for you to view yourself from the child. In other words, see yourself yourself out of the child's eyes in the fashion. And just trust that idea that is popping in your head of your PowerPoint of now, your imagination third eye. Also be in a distance. In other words, you see your child, the child sees you, but also be a third-party observer, and that may be of a time, let's say, snap picture of a still moment, and then you can observe that entire environment and be understanding of you outside of the entire construct of you understand as humanity, only expanding once again your own, let's say, version of yourself that is, again, acceptable to the reality you perceive as reality. The child is, in the fashion, awake, period. However, in the construct of using what we call the mind and building the conscious beliefs around it, it is inherently, let's say, taking on all of its cellular idea, memory, DNA, as well as the conscience, what we call conscience units around you to fit the new reality of the child, as well as your belief systems of the parents or the people around them in that fashion, as well building that construct and slowly in that fashion bringing the awareness of the gift of time to that child. In other words, evolve to devolve, re-evolving itself in the fashionable moment. This is all. I shall return you to Ocyphius. Thank you, Seth. All right, Kalina, we're done.
Thank you very much, Ocyphius. Well, our next caller is 604. 604, who are you, and what is your question for us tonight?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Terrific, thank you.
Are you still there? Oh, I think 604 has dropped somehow. So 604, if you call back, I'll get you next, okay? No worries. What we will do is we will go ahead and take the next in line, 586. Who do we have with us this evening? 586?
Hi, this is Maria from Michigan.
Hi, Maria. That's a fancy place.
Of the Lake Wamiga Malakas.
Oh.
MM, we call her.
Nice.
MM. Hi, Kalina.
Hi, Maria. Did you have a question?
And hello. Yeah, I kind of do. It's kind of complicated, maybe, but
perceived complicated, not really. Relax, go.
Okay, this has been something that's been going around, and I put it out to Conscious Evolution 2.0 and got some very interesting thoughts around it. The basic question is, if we are all creators and two, all co-creators, and two, participants or observers, how do I step off of certain created images of me or assumptions or scenarios or situations that I don't choose to be in if people are co-creating it with me? I mean, I've heard I've pre-agreed to these things. I've heard all kinds of thoughts around this. It's a very circular subject for me, and I know it's a toughie.
Oh. Yeah, we will jump in and give our perspective on this idea. So, first of all, you do not need to understand with your mind how it all works. So you can relax and let go of the need to know how. And just accept that whatever is in the moment is the most perfect manifestation of a reality that you could be experiencing. Now, we understand that when you realize that you are creator beings, that you then want to get in there and you want to manipulate and you want to be in control and be in charge of everything as it unfolds. You want to create your perfect version of reality. And that is something that many who first become aware of that idea give themselves responsibility for, and then feel frustrated about. And then when you start to consider the idea of co-creation and past lives and parallel realities and future lives and oversoul, it all gets a bit convoluted. And you can spend a lifetime just trying to put it all together so that you know exactly how it all works. When instead, it is so much more valuable to you to be in the moment that you are in, present, full participant, fully aware of what you are feeling, and to bring as much love through yourself as you possibly can in that moment, to let the love that flows through you be that which creates, leaving your mind out of the equation so that your mind doesn't have to piece it all together and put all the pieces in the right place and so on. So we want you to just relax, and we know that there are many different ways of looking at this idea of creating a reality, but as far as we are concerned, we just want you to be in your reality, be present, be fully conscious, be fully in your body, and be willing to accept that which is presenting itself to you as the perfect, the most perfect version of reality that you could possibly experience in your now moment.
Thank you very, very much. And I know also that Aridif would like to answer this question as well. Aridif, are you there?
Yes, we are here, and we appreciate the connection. This is Aridif. Treb Bor Yit NE has brought me forward to speak more directly on this specific subject. It is a very great resonance with the concept that the creators have brought forward into existing. In simply existing, you can resonate upon all levels. But there is also an understanding that knowledge for some is a key to greater understandings in other areas. So if you wish to know the mechanism of the way that this specifically works, we will give you the most simple version that we have available to you at this time. You are creating everything around you. Even through co-creations, your creational mechanism is that drives your existence. There are souls and twin souls that exist simultaneously, with the job of the twin soul only to prepare many parallel realities for one fractal existence. One fractal having many parallel existences may be dealt and handed backwards and forwards from one oversoul to the twin soul that relates all probabilities of this one fractal. In the exchange of information and energy, you are choosing a reality in which you prefer. Now, in the mechanics alongside of this, you understand that all relationships, all entities, all co-creations are still yet a manifestation and a derivative of your own consciousness projecting. Projection of consciousness in any connection that you have is still yours. Yes, these entities are independent and sovereign within themselves, and yes, these entities create with you. But the version of the entity in which you create with is only the version that you will allow in your created universe. This is the mechanism explained in the most simple terms that we can share. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are running out of time, so what I'm going to do is take one more caller, but it will have to be super quick just to make sure we can do the drawing to get somebody to win a ticket to the channel panel. So what I'll do is take 516's number, and thank you, Maria, for your call. 516, who do we have with us this evening? 516. Hi.
Hi, this is Janine.
Hi, Janine.
Wow. Hi, thanks, Kalina, and thank you for all of the entities coming through, and all the channelers. You're all amazing. Mm-hmm. So my question is, I heard recently that the best way to live your life is through a life of service to others, through opening up a vortex of well-being for them through your own alignment. And I've chosen years ago to make a profession out of that. So I'd like to know what is some advice on the best way for me to align my energy so I can be of service to others and make a profession out of it? Like, what are some tips that I can do to help kind of amplify that energy? And that's for whoever wants to answer.
Well, Ocyphius, do you want to take this question first?
Thank you so much. Now listen to this idea. I am reading your higher self, so just trust this for this now, and then you can choose the basket of apples I leave upon your door and toss them out or take a bite. Does not matter. The idea in and of itself was just what I said. I'm offering. Your idea, however, in service is in the fashion of karmatic idea. In other words, you are perpetuating a system that you must serve others in order to receive. Truly, aligning yourself is acting upon your individual universe. If you would, in that action, not have a concern, for the concern will shift to the outside in acceptance of the outside, then that will be your outside. Always, let's say, perpetuating the idea, am I doing enough? Am I giving enough in order to receive? Listen to those words again. In order to receive. If you want to do this in service to humanity, offer yourself as the expression of God by truly, oh yes, being yourself. And in being yourself, you discover yourself, all of yourselves. As the Creator said earlier, your parallel selves, your probable selves. As Aridif said earlier, your co-creation selves, your co-creation twin flames in that fashion. By being the individual expression of the particle of information that you are, only offers its perpetuating offering in service to humanity to choose. This is the idea behind allowance. You choose your reality as your best to highest excitement, as Bashar says. Follow that to, let's say, no end, with no fear of ever getting anything in return, because that's lack. Oh, yes. You will always be rocked in the bosom of grace, once again. And in that, you will see your reality shift to the ones that are starting to give you your love in reflection of that offering in and of itself. And then you guys will create the grander idea from the individual to the collective. Are you following? All right. That is all I have.
Thank you very much. And
You're welcome.
We have just a couple more minutes. Was there anyone else that wanted to address this? Perhaps the creators and Treb and or Aridif?
Yeah. We will jump in here and put forth our perspectives on this idea. So, when you hear something from someone else that tells you that this is the way to live, this is how it is done. It is done through service. Well, they are starting with the idea that there is one way to live for all beings. And the idea of service that most of you have is of doing something for someone else. It is of direct contact and communication with another individual that would then in some way uplift that individual, that would in some way be a benefit to that individual or group of individuals. So you have this idea of direct service. That is what is most prominent in most of your ideas of what service is. However, is a person who is climbing a mountain by themselves because They feel so alive when they climb the mountain, not of service in some way to someone else. The energy that they are putting out through the collective is that of, I am free, I am alive, I am letting source energy flow through me, I am love, I am one with nature, I am capable, I am strong, I have a beautiful physical body that can do amazing things, I am breathing. All these wonderful ideas are being put out into the collective for others to pick up on. So is that not of service? So the idea then for you is not to look for the thing that will be of service that you can make into a career, because that is asking far, far too much of yourself to figure out and to find. Instead, you simply move through your life knowing that the opportunities to be of service will come to you in the perfect moment as you continue to look within yourself, to ask yourself, what is calling me today? What is making my heart sing? And how can I do more of that? And as you do, everything that you are, everything that you do is of service to the collective of which you could never be a part or separate from, you see. So it is always direct service, even if it looks like a singular person out in the middle of nowhere doing exactly what they love to do.
Thank you very much. And Treb and or Aridif, did you have any final words you wanted to add?
Yes, this is Aridif again, and I will express one concept when it comes to this. Both of the entities who have spoken before me have encompassed this idea very greatly. The only thing that I can add is whether you are doing for yourself or doing for others at all is doing for Source. The perceived type difference of entities of type 1 and type 2 are both working towards the same evolution. Both souls are going back to oneness. Whether they are serving all because they understand all is the same as themselves, they understand they are a part of that all, or whether they are doing only for themselves in the small groups which they do for, all of these actions are related back to Source and is doing what you have come to do, to exist. If you wish to have a job to help others because this is your highest excitement, do it. If you are doing it because you believe you will attach yourself to negativity if you do not, then do not do this. Only do what the heart requires yourself to do, what it feels good to do, what it feels right to do, but not because you are worried of damnation. This would place you in the same conundrum that many religious entities perceive, such as hell, such as damnation and fire. You do not need to worry about punishment. You do as you wish to do, as you are excited to do, and this is the reward within itself. You are all very well loved, and we thank you for this evening.
Thank you so, so much. And what I'm going to do, since we've only got 12 minutes left, I want to thank all of our beloved entities and the channelers. And what I'm going to do is cut to a break. And as you guys all bring your channelers back in, we are going to, behind the scenes during the break, we will be drawing the winner for tonight's channel panel. So we will be right back all. We love you, and we will be right back.
Hi, this is Karen Newman from the show About Oneness, and here's what's coming up on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 and 2 for the week starting on Monday, September 8th until Sunday, September 14th. Simply put, Rob Gauthier, founder of the EEN and the host of the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, has put together the greatest metaphysical radio network ever. 7 days a week we have shows that will aid you on your path to enlightenment, evolution, and ascension on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 and the Enlightenment Evolution Network 2. on EEN1, Mondays starting at 6:30 p.m. PST and 9:30 p.m. EST is Heart to Heart Talk Radio with your host, Daniel Scranton. Join Daniel and his featured guests discussing a wide variety of metaphysical topics. Daniel channels the creators, the Hathors, Ophelia the Fairy, and the Archangel Michael, and now the latest, the Unicorn Collective. Daniel and his guests will take phone calls and questions, and it's sure to generate high-frequency discussions. You can find out more about Daniel at his website, danielscranton.com, and also on Facebook. Go to the Events tab on Daniel's website to learn more about Daniel's upcoming events. Daniel's guest on Monday is Marilyn Holzman. On Tuesday at noon Pacific Standard Time and 3 p.m. Eastern, please join hosts Megan Crandallmeyer and Rachel Archelaus for Radio Inspiration, Expression, and Abundance for their show, Soulfulpreneur. Spiritual business specialists Rachel and Megan will bring you inspiring conversations with people who are living their soul purpose. Frequent guests include psychic mediums, channelers, coaches, artists, and authors. They end every show with psychic readings and business coaching. Your questions about spiritual business or life purpose journey are welcome. This week, Rachel and Megan will discuss the book Breaking Loose from the Money Game. On Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, is the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, with host Rob Gauthier. Rob channels Treb on the first Wednesday of each month and will take callers' questions. And on the third Wednesday, we'll have special guests such as guest channelers and other metaphysical teachers. The other 2 Wednesdays are freestyle call-in shows to discuss whatever callers have on their minds. Tune into Rob on Wednesday nights, and you can also find him at TrebChanneling.com and on Facebook at the Enlightenment Evolution Network group page. Rob has 2 special announcements. Introducing what is shaping up to be the event of the year for Treb Channeling. We are excited to have some of the greatest channelers in the world. On Saturday, September 13th, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Channel Panel. This is a live, interactive, online event. The event will be easily accessible to anyone with internet on their device, phone, Mac, or PC. The event is 6 hours, and it has the greatest names in channeling today, including Brad Johnson, John Calley, Nora Harold, Rob Gauthier, and Daniel Scranton. The moderator is co-host Kalina Angell. The cost for this great event is $45. If you go to TrebChanneling.com, you can register and find out all about the details. Another project near and dear to Rob's heart is the much-anticipated sequel to the groundbreaking film Tuning In, called Tuning In Now. The movie will feature channelers such as Daryl Anka and Bashar, Lee Carroll and Cryon, and our very own Rob Gauthier and Treb. Tuning In Now will explore the amazing work of today's top channels and how they are helping to awaken the consciousness of the planet. The film is in fundraising stages at the moment, and with a contribution of as little as $15 all the way up to $50,000, you can help make sure this film is made. Please go to Indiegogo.com. That's www.indiegogo.com and type in the search Tuning In Now 2. All details about donations to this film can be found on the Indiegogo.com website. Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, join host Philip Malika with the Consciousness Evolution Hour. Join Philip and his special guests and co-hosts as they discuss the shift, ascension, timelines, metaphysical concepts, and the fifth dimension. Find Philip on the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group page on Facebook and on YouTube. On Friday, The Earth Experience with host Kalina Angell at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. The Earth Experience explores our soul's expansion through our human experiences on Earth. Kalina will help you navigate and expand through the exciting confusions that we are manifesting as new 5D beings. On Saturday, Odyssey of Ascension with your host, Roxanne Swainhart. Join the one and only Roxanne Swainhart for 2 hours of Knock Your Socks Off Ascension downloads. Be open, be ready, and just be with her while she answers your questions about ascension, extraterrestrials, soul purpose, energy activations, and all things ascension. Roxy is a channeler and ascension guide extraordinaire in these extraordinary times. Living in San Antonio, Roxy received an awakening experience and promptly exploded onto the metaphysical scene, posting videos, blogging, and doing live group channeling and changing the lives of all she encounters. Roxy channels the entities of Ocyphius, the Hathor Guides, the Sasani Guides, and the collective Oversoul Fire, just to name a few. Come join her for an unforgettable couple of hours on your personal path. On Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 a.m. Pacific is my show About Oneness. About Oneness is a weekly radio program focused on celebrating the ongoing conscious awakening of our planet and our realization of oneness. I am an American originally from Charleston, South Carolina, now living in the Netherlands. I am an integrated channel, medium, Reiki master, and metaphysical teacher. I have a varied and diverse background, including that of being a singer, dancer, writer, as well as working in the sport nutrition and fitness world. As a channel, I bring forward the information of my non-physical guides called Theos, whose message is always that of oneness and unconditional love. This show for me is about integrating all of my experiences and following my highest excitement, which is tapping into truth so I can better understand my place in the universe. If you'd like to learn more about me, my upcoming guests, as well as see videos of channelings and teachings, you can visit aboutoneness.com. On Sunday, September the 14th, my guest will be the amazing James E. Charles. And then on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 2, on Tuesdays, join host Victoria Vives at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, for your host of Earth Sky People Radio, your bridge between heaven and earth. Subjects will include planet Earth, becoming part of an intergalactic society, star seeds and extraterrestrial life, living in oneness with one another, with Mother Earth, and with life beyond Earth.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to bring all of our wonderful channelers back on. And I want to say sorry, I left my microphone on. I don't know if you guys can make out what I said. Did you? It was really funny.
I couldn't tell what you said, but I texted Rob to let him know that I could hear you guys.
I was reeling because while they were channeling, because when Aridif channels through Rob, he's actually fully conscious. And I got a Skype message from Aridif, and we were kind of Skyping a little back and forth, and it was kind of surprising. So when Rob came in, I asked him, did Treb and Aridif bring you back? Because I was going out there to get him, which is why I left my mic on. I was going out there. I was surprised to see Rob pop in. So I just thought it was really funny, and that's what that was about. Guys, like, my brain just is not here. Totally. Just imagine if you had your entity Skyping you. I mean, it's like, how human is that,
Kalina?
Right? Yes.
I hate to do this, but we've got 3 minutes left, guys. Yes. I've got to announce the winner. I want to thank all of you for sharing this. If you want to keep this on your wall, please do. We had 51 shares for this event, and we found one winner, and I'm trying to pronounce the name. It's Erica Rees Grooms, I believe. Facebook lady, and I will contact her if she's not listening tonight. She won the free ticket for that. And I want to thank Daniel. I want to thank Roxy, and I want to thank Kalina. Thank all of you guys for coming on again.
Thank you, Doll.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, so we will call it a night at this time, guys. Remember, the channel panel is Saturday. If you want to join, trebchanneling.com. Go to events and then online events. You can click on there to do that. We do this show every Wednesday, the first Wednesday of each month, Treb Channeling Special. You can come on, ask questions. You can go to all these other host shows, Monday for Daniel, Saturday for Foxy Roxy, Friday for Kalina Angell. Go to Facebook and type in the Enlightenment Evolution Network, and all of the show schedules right there. Thank you guys again for coming on. We appreciate it.
Lots of love, Doll.
You're welcome.
Lots of love to you guys, too. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys Saturday. Thanks again, guys.
Yep.
See you Saturday. Love you guys.
Hey. Thanks. I love you guys.
Right.
Oh,
I love you guys, too, and thanks again. Thanks, Daniel and Roxy. All right, Kalina, thanks again, too, for co-creating this. I didn't mean to cut you off. I know you were almost at the finish point of your story.
No,
it was a wonderful story, but
I'm just overly excited, so.
Well, I don't blame you. I love all of you guys so much. Join us. Join Kalina Friday. Join myself Wednesday. Roxy on Saturday, Daniel on Monday. The Enlightenment Evolution Network is a network for all things metaphysical. If you like what you hear on any of the shows, you can donate to each host by going to their own websites or their own page, hitting donate. If you want to donate to the network, trebchanneling.com, you can throw in any donation you'd like. We love you guys with all of our hearts, and we will see you next Wednesday. And Kalina will see you guys much sooner than that Friday. Thank you, guys, and we love you.
Night. Good night.
Day after tomorrow night.
That's right.
It's Thursday tomorrow. Philip will get upset with you if you take a showtime, I promise.
Don't want that.
All right, I love you guys. Love you, Kalina, and thank you, sweetheart.
Bye.
Bye.